Hi everyone, welcome to QAWithSJ channel. In this particular video, we can discuss string comparison with normal equal to and dot equals, what the difference and all. Let me create one class file. I'm giving some name like this. So before that, strings can be created in two ways. str1 equal to Java. I'm just giving like this, and I'm declaring another string. The variable name is string str2, and here also I'm giving the name it as Java. And there is another way to declare the strings with string class str3 equal to new. We are just creating an object to this string class, and here I'm passing the values. Now I'm declaring another string, naming it as with new object, then string. Here also I'm giving Java. So now let's print the values of these str1 and str2. So in string concatenation, right? So what I will do, string okay, directly will print, we'll see now. Okay, or else str1 value. Okay, let's do that like this, plus str1. So this is string concatenation. So with string, whatever the value you gave it in str1 means Java, so it will print like this. So it looks good, right? Just to see the output. So that's the reason I just added like that. And here str2 value it would be str2. Okay, now let's run this particular program. So what was the str1 value? Java, and str2 value is also Java. Now let's do one more thing. Now here I will print str3 value, and then I will just add a plus for string concatenation. Now let me copy this, and let's do this. And here let me give str4 value, here also str4. Then what would be the value of it? So here also before that, let me do one thing. Let me add one sys out here, just to get some space. That's it between these two. No. So str1 value is Java, str2 value is Java, str3 value is Java, and str4 value is Java. Now let me do one thing. What I will do now, if so we haven't covered if statements, I mean conditional statements, but that's fine. Let's do one thing. Let's do sys out. str1 is equal to str2. Then let's do the say. Let's run it now. So what was the value of str1? Java. What is the value of str2 is Java. So when str1 is equal to str2, then what it got printed? True, right? Now let's do the same statement here with this. So here we have defined strings in different way with object creation. Now here the values are str3 and str4. Now let me run this. Now you can see, here you go. Now we got false. So what's the difference? Here we also have Java in str3. Here also we have the value called Java. When we print these values also, it got printed Java, but why it was false, but why it is true here? So here is the reason. So when you declare a string directly like this, okay, so basically we have stack memory and heap memory. Under heap memory, these values of a string will be stored. Okay, now what will happen here? So the value of str1, when you declare str1, the value of str1 will be Java. When you are declaring str2, it will check whether this value is already there under string pool. Under heap memory, there is a pool called string pool. Then still, as this value already defined, it will points to, now str2 also points to the same value, the same memory address that it has. What was the memory address of Java? 5000, right? So that since the values are same when you define the second time, so the memory address of first one is 5000, then str2 also points to the same memory address. So when you do equal to, in this case it will compares the references. It compares the references when you do equal to. Here also the same, but here we are creating strings using string object, right? So here what happens at str1, the value is Java. Since we are creating new object with new string, so it will create new memory. Okay, so the value would be 6000 and 6001. This is older one. You can just ignore this. This is this example. For this example, str1 value would be Java and str2 value would be Java, but since we gave it new, the memory references are 6000 and 6001. So in this case, both are 5000. So 5000 is equal to 5000. But in this case, 6000 is not equal to 6001. So that's the reason it also compares. It also compares the memory references, so that it gives false. So what is the another way? Let's do now. Now what I will do, now you can see it, str1 dot equals, I'm using equals, then str2. Now here let's first run that. Yeah, it's true. Now let's run it here also. str3 dot equals of str4. So actually when we are executing this particular statement, we got false, right? Now you can see it got true. How? Because dot equals, it compares the content. Dot equals to compares the references. So the content is same in both the cases, right? So better to use dot equals method when you're comparing strings, right? So when you directly initialize using string literals, then since the second one, when you define the values like this for the strings, it always checks in string pool that value is already there. Then it has memory address 5000. So in both cases, it compares the memory references when you use the equal to. So both the cases 5000 equal to 5000. But here you are explicitly using new keyword, so that 6000 is at one. This one might have 6000 and this might have 6001. So when it compares the addresses, those are not equal. That's the reason you are getting like this. So the fix is, you can use dot equals method. It compares the content. So this is already we have discussed, and there is one more point I just wanted to highlight. Strings are immutable. Strings are changeable, right? Unchangeable. We have discussed the same point here, right? So why strings are unchangeable? Let's suppose there is a string str1, right? Now str1 dot, have used concat method of programming. Now since what it here, there is a string called Java at line number. So here the program will run only in main method when we execute this particular programs in Java. So when it comes line by line, at line number 8, str1 is stored as value of Java, Now what I'm doing, I'm concatenating something called programming to str1. So ideally it should be modified, but it couldn't. Now you can see this, still the str1 value as Java only. So what you have supposed to do, if you want that modified value, then again you have to store in another variable, then you can print like this. You can see now the updated value is Java programming. So what I'm trying to say is here, you have performed some operations on a string, which is a concatenate, which is a substring. It could be anything, right? Since you modified something, it should be updated, but it shouldn't. That's where the strings are immutable. So if you want to do these modifications, supposed to update here, then you have to store in another variable, then you can print it. That's the way the value gets updated. So as I said, strings are immutable to get the control on the strings modifications, because sensitive data might be changed if they make it mutable, I mean changeable, right? So this is about string comparison with string literals and using new string. So if someone asks why it is false even though we gave it equal to in this case, but it's true in this case, you can explain simply. And dot equals contains, so dot equals uh, compares the content. So the main summary for this string comparison, when you use equal to, it compares the references. When you use dot equals, it compares the content of the particular strings. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.